Hello! Your business is growing and it's getting harder to manage your company's internal processes. In this video, you will learn how Elinext Flow Management, a web app for business process automation, can help you with it. First, let me authenticate using my admin account to demonstrate as much functionality as possible. So once I'm logged in, I'll land on the processes page where all processes I take part in are displayed. But to start with, let me take a step back to the place where it all begins, the Templates tab. And as you can see, I can navigate between the app's different modules via the sidebar menu here. And since I have an administrator account, in addition to core components, which are templates, processes, steps, and notifications, I can also manage users, roles, and groups. We'll check them out a bit later. I can also collapse the menu to a more minimalistic view to have more space for my records here on the grid. All right, if I need to automate one of my internal processes, I first have to describe it and document in a structured way in a template. So what is a template? Now let me give you probably an example. So I think now it's clear. It's a flow diagram that represents a process as a collection of steps, single steps or decision gateways to be completed either in sequential order like here or in parallel just like here. The zoom in and out functionality is very useful for complex processes to have a quick high-level view at the entire template and better understand its boundaries. All right, now let me go back to the templates tab. And since we may have different templates, this page allows me to search templates by template name, its creator, to sort templates, filter by process initiators, current status, or co-owners. All right, I think now is the right time for us to create our own template. So I click this button here and the app offers two options. Create new template, meaning from scratch. This is exactly what I'm going to do now. Or use created template. So if you only need to create a template that is slightly different from the one you already have, you simply duplicate it, adjust when necessary, and save time. So let's proceed with option one. And here on the right side, I can specify this template name. So for example, I may want to automate the process for RFP. Here I can specify the template co-owners, so the users who will be able to manage this template, then add process initiators, users who will launch processes based on this unified template, and probably also process viewers, so the ones who will be notified about the process's progress. Here in the middle, I click start and can start diagramming, selecting between single, conditional, and parallel steps. Let's say I may want to start with a single step. So what is a step? It's basically a task. So here on the right side, I click edit and can specify the step or task details. For example, I may need some initial details for that RFP, for example. Here I can add a comprehensive description about this task, then assign executors by default, so the users who will be notified that there is a task to be completed. Probably add a supervisor to validate this step correct execution by those executors. And down below, I can also add the step duration, so how much time is allocated for that step completion. Here in the action step, I can add an action. So what is an action? It's basically a field to be populated, and we have different types of fields here, the text, numeric, date, etc. So let's say I may want to start with the company name of our lead. If I select this checkbox here, I can mark the step as a required one. I can also add it and delete this if I need to, or add another action. So I may want to proceed with the conditional step, for example, if I need to separate the process flow between alternative branches here. And just like with the single step, I click edit, specify the condition. Here I can populate all these fields, but I move straight to the condition. Here is the condition if this step is valid, and here I can add options. So for example, if the answer to that question is yes, then the process shall move via step 3. If no, then the process will go via step 4. I can also add the parallel steps here if I need to. So I think now you get the idea how it works. Now let me delete this template and go back to the template step. So now when we have our templates ready, let's go to the processes step. And here, in addition to the sort, search, and filter functionality we've already had a look at, I can also click on the plus icon here and add and remove columns I would want to be displayed on the grid to have an instant look at some important information. So here I can also see, for example, the current step status within this process. And as a process initiator, I can also manage this process or perform process. Here I can specify one of the process statuses. I can pull this process on hold in case we are facing some troubles and we just need to pause it. or close without execution if a process becomes obsolete and we no longer need to go till the end, or finish a process in case all tasks in this process were completed. So if I select this checkbox here, I can also see those processes closed without execution or successfully finished. So let's try to initiate one of the processes here. So I click on this button and select the relevant template. So here I can again have a look at this process diagram, and on the right I can specify this process details, for example, then add the process start date, let it be today, and click initiate. So once my current date matches the process start date, the first step or task in this process becomes active. And those users by default, executors by default, will be notified. Here in the steps tab, I have this task display. So I need to provide some request details. And from this page, I can click view step details, go there and see what exactly is required from me and this step. So I get to know that I have to populate the company name and the due date, and optional also add comments or budget. Now let me go back to the steps tab. Right from this page, I can also click perform step and assign this step to myself, click save. Probably if I have some problems with this step execution, I can click escalate, put a reason for that, and this step will be put on hold. As you can see, the step status has been updated here. Now I can move back, click unpause, and proceed with this step implementation. So I'll go here and populate the fields, click done. And if we go back to the processes tab here, you can see that the next step in this process has become active. Another great feature here is the process log. If I go here, I can see the entire history of all modifications within the process. So what kind of information were input into the system, when, and by what user. All right, to stay always in the know about the steps that require the user's attention, I can go to the notifications tab here, and I can, first this step I have already completed, I can mark it as red, or I may want to click on view details, go there, and again learn more about this step that needs to be completed by myself. All right, let me mark this all as red. And 3 more tabs I promise you to tell more about: users, roles, and groups. Let's start with users. So here I have the list of all registered users. They are currently sourced from our internal server. And here I can check their details. So I can go to this card, see the user's first, last name, and email, the roles assigned to this user, and the groups he or she is member of. As for roles, so here I can create new and manage existing roles that basically expand some user rights by providing additional permissions. So let me show you how it works. I can create a new role here, specify the role name, and here I have the entire list of permissions I can add to this role. I can filter them to have a more focused view. For example, first I would want to add the permissions that pertaining to the groups management, or I may want to allow users to create and delete templates. All right, here in the users with role assigned tab, I can also add some users, assign this role to certain users. I can remove users from this role if I want to, etc. All right, now just like its name suggests, the groups tab allows me to organize users, say employees of one department, into a single group so that process initiators can assign tasks to multiple users and anybody on the group can proceed with the task implementation. So let me show you how it works. So here I have the entire list of users that make up this group. I can also edit this list. I can add new users, or I can remove existing ones. I can also see the templates that are used by that particular group of users or processes they are part of. I can also archive this group if I no longer need it, or delete if I don't need it actually without the ability to restore it back. All right, here down below, if I click on this arrow next to my name, I can go to my profile details. I can also specify the notification types, in-app, email, or both, or I can also log out via this menu here. All right, that's it for now. If you want to learn more about the app's entire functionality and how it can be customized to your business's unique needs, please do not hesitate to reach out to Elinext. And thanks for watching.